That's my favorite word. What does it do? What it be like? Miss Passmore, of course. Just my mama, y'all, tuning in. A little bit. Can you hear me? If you're not on YouTube, you're not gonna hear some stuff. You should hear most. Good evening. Well, decided to do this because, full disclosure, in the feds they call this a 5K1. I never experienced it. I went to trial. They call it when guys tell on themselves. So I'm finna tell on myself. So you ain't gotta go looking for nothing. Put it all out there. Jerk chicken banging. Where to start? Well, for one, some of y'all might know I'm old. Some of y'all might not know how old. I was born in 78. Makes me 44. I was raised by my mama and my great grandmother, predominantly. My daddy was in the military, so he was overseas in war. He's been all over the place. So I can't say I grew up without my daddy. He was just busy. My mama never talked bad about my daddy. My daddy has never talked bad about my mama. So I can't relate to a lot of shit that y'all go through. I was a smart kid, bad, because I was too smart. Finish classwork and get into the shit little boys do. The way boys learn. Real inquisitive, always trying to do something different. Stayed in some shit. But I made good grades. I made sure I kept them grades up because that was the deal. I was gonna get my ass beat if I didn't bring home no A's and B's. Let me take something off. I thought I would get my ass beat. I thought that was the end all be all is to bring home good grades and make mama, granny, uncle, and everybody proud. Being an only child for the first 8 years causes you to grow up real quick. Before, in my old age, we were told to take your ass outside. Don't be coming in and out. So we pretty much stayed outside all day long. Roaming the neighborhood. As long as we had our ass home before the street lights came on. Of course, I had friends that were my age, but most of the people that I chose to hang out with trumped me by about 8 years. So I was hanging with the older kids, doing what older kids do, or trying to. That also escalated my troubles. Now, I've never had a problem working. I've always been like somewhat of a hustler. Like in elementary school, I remember we sell those world's best chocolate. But when that wasn't selling, I would make candy. Kool-Aid with sugar and put it in straws, melt both ends, and sell them at school. Lemonade stands, cutting grass, cleaning up people's yards, collecting cans. So kind of had an early love for money. Well, my mama had my little sister when I was 8. Anybody knows the situation? My little sister is special needs. I basically raised her because when she was little, I never let her stay at the house. If I left the house, she came with me. I kept my little sister with me everywhere. On buses, to the mall. Dates. She went everywhere with me. Early on, I kind of witnessed that, I always thought we were pretty well off in hell compared to everybody else in my neighborhood. We were. But, it was other things that I wanted that were more expensive that just couldn't get out of mama and granny. what kind of kept me in check about not venturing out and doing nothing crazy for a long time was that I also had my uncle there at the house. That masculine energy of knowing that you can get your ass beat at any goddamn time will help keep a boy in check. Well, my 8th grade summer, I went to visit my dad, and that summer was the summer that my uncle got killed in a bar fight helping a friend. When that happened, that was, my uncle was like, of course I looked up to my dad, but I really looked up to my uncle because he was strong. He was a Vietnam vet. I mean, I could see him he could do anything. He could cook. He can build stuff. He can tear stuff down. And nobody fucked with him. He can fight like a motherfucker. But he also had a heart of gold. Well, that's something when he passed away that kind of freed me up to be able to escape and be able to do a whole lot of stuff that I had no business doing. That was the summer that I started selling drugs. I remember to this day, I was at my cousin's house around the corner. And I think at that time he was in a room having sex with some girl or something. And it was a knock at the door, and it was this guy. I mean, I knew him. It was one of the older guys from the neighborhood, Mike. I said his name. He's been long dead too now. And I went and knocked on my cousin door. I'm like, yo, Mike at the door. My cousin came to the door. Big old black ass nigga, sweating. And he said, who is it? And I said, Mike. He said, man. I said, here. Did his hand like that, and I opened my hand and put 5 little rocks in my hand. Like, it's the first time ever holding crack. And I was like, okay, well, all right, so just give this to him? He's like, yeah, give it to him. So I took it over there and I gave it to him. Mike gave me a $100 bill. And I go back inside. And right there, that was my first mistake. Probably my biggest mistake. Because I was like, $100? And all I did was hand him 5 little rocks. So I took it back to my cousin. He's like, here, keep 50. I said, how do I make the 100? How do I go about getting some of them? He's like, go ahead. I tell you what, give me the $50 back. And he handed me 5 little rocks. He said, there you go. That's $100 worth. He said, now, next time Mike, one of them come over here, I ain't gonna speak everybody's name now. Just ask them what they want. And each one of those $20. Well, I came back. I had the $100 after I got rid of them or whatever. I gave him the $100. I'm expecting him to give me 5 more rocks. Somewhere the math didn't add up for me. But he handed me 10 of them. And I was like, oh shit, what's this? He's like, no, you double your money up. I'm like, oh yeah? So is this $50 for 5 of them? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. He said, next time, bring me 200. Matter of fact, bring me 150, and I got something better for you. I was like, something better? I'm finna make $200 right now. Just 150? Okay. So it took me about 2 days to get rid of them, but I hadn't spent none of the money, and I come back with 200. He's like, "No, just give me the 150. You got $50 now. You got $50 to spend." He gave me this little slab. And I'm like, "What's this?" He's like, "This a quarter." I said, "Off of this, you should be able to cut you about $400 worth off of this." I said, "150 is gonna make me $400." My wheels got to turning. So the next time I said, "Look, Kim," I said, "Look, cuz," I said, "Look, I got the whole 400 and the $50 that you told me to spend that I could spend on myself. I didn't spend that either. I got 450. What can you do for me for 450?" He said, "I like how you thinking." That's my first time getting an ounce. 4 flips into the game. Some of you females, y'all boyfriend been flipping y'all goddamn income tax for how many years and ain't never came back with no money. In 4 flips, I was on a zip. So the next time I came to him, I learned how to bust the shit down quick, easy. Because, it was me and quite a few other homeboys and cousins and shit that was in the neighborhood that was all doing the same shit. Selling to the same motherfucker, so it took us forever. But when I sold it, I still hadn't spent no money. See, at that time, I didn't want my mama to know I had all that damn money. So I wouldn't spend nothing. So when I went back to him, I think it was about like $1,800. He said, "So what, you gonna get another zip?" I said, "Nah, man, I won't. Give me 3.5. He said, "Nah, man, for 18, I'm gonna get you 4 on the baby." He gave me 4.5 ounces. From there, I learned how to spend some of that money because I was like, "Oh shit, 4.5." Now, mind you, I sold and I re-upped and I sold and I re-upped and I got 4.5 probably for. I was stuck on 4.5 probably about a year or two before I actually decided I was going to save up enough to get more than that. But mind you, by that time, I had a little summer job and a job during the school year and all that stuff. So I was able to spend some money, get a car, put a little system in there, Coliseum flea market. More, I fucked my car up, burnt my whole carpet up. And I got so mad, and I went home. I'm looking at what he did, and I'm like, "Man, this one got this wire between the door, and that's why it grounded out and burnt up my carpet." So I reverse engineered that. I learned how to work on my own radio and shit. My friends were saying that I can do all that I was doing. That they would ask me, "Can I do something with this?" Mind you, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just trying some shit. But I got good at it eventually. I finally learned the concepts and stuff. The whole time I was still going to school, working. I basically only do my drug dealing when I was at home on the weekend, when I was at my grandmother's on the weekends in Kenwood. Wild times, Kenwood. Now, mind you, in Kenwood, I think out of the households I kicked it with, my Mexican partners, all of them had a daddy at home. But out of all those black kids, I think it was only 2 of us that had a father that was Hell, and one of them, I think he wasn't even at the home. He had his own little house. Everybody else is single moms doing the best they can do. I think to date, damn near everybody that's from my neighborhood been to prison. Now, most of us, at least the black ones, most of us, the majority of us are successful because we moved that hustling over into something else. We all been. It's crazy. You know, I talk to a lot of people all the time. And people are like, oh, man, you harsh on women. No, I'm not. I'm harsh on dudes. You ask dudes, all the male friends that know me, I cut no corners with them. Yeah, I think I talk straight to you. I cut no corners with my homies. We call each other all kinds of things. But we've learned, just like I'm doing with this jerk chicken right here, how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. That's why I'm not really good at that sugarcoat shit, because that sugarcoat shit doesn't work. Telling people shit that makes them feel good. It make you feel good for a time. It sounds good for you at a time. Won't hurt your feelings for a little while. But when you hit that wall, it's gonna hurt. Well, I make it all the way through school, graduate second in my class, had a scholarship to Morehouse, full ride, academic, no athletics. My ass started high school, I was only 5'1", 97 pounds, so wasn't no damn athletics going on for me. By the time I grew into my man body, hell, I was already finna graduate. So I go to Morehouse. It was a great experience, but I ended up jacking off my scholarship because of a technicality. I was told I had to have 30 hours a year. I was not told that it had to be 15 hours each semester. The first semester I took 16 hours. Well, my second semester, I took 18, but I ended up having to drop a 4-hour class. Well, I'm looking at 16, 14, 30. I'm good. That ain't how they saw it. So they snatched my scholarship. Now, mind you, at that time of my life, my respect for my dad, I had respect for him, but I also had anger for him. I had a lot of daddy issues because I felt like, oh, I'd have been able to do this or do that if dad had been here. I'd have been able, you know what I'm saying? My dad could have paid for this. He could have paid for that. I'm a child. I don't know everything about his business, about what's going on. I mean, yeah, I know about all my siblings, but I'm not thinking about it in the sense of he got to take care of them too. It took me growing up to be able to eat that, to swallow that pill and figure out that, mama and dad were doing the best they could with what they had, with the way the situation played. It took me going through some of the shit with my children's parents to learn that, There's always two sides to a story. No matter how good you are to a person, the one time you say no, you never done nothing for them. The one time you don't do what they want you to do, you never did nothing for them. And it's crazy. I mean, it's a wild realization. I realized it, I understood it, and I figured it out. It took me going to prison and actually having to watch my children be raised by other men. Not having access to my mom, my sister, and everybody like I wanted to. But me, the type of person I am, I don't just look at things on surface levels. I always look 4 or 5 levels deeper. People always say, man, you overthinking. No, I ain't overthinking. Ain't no such thing as overthinking. You fail to think, you're going to fail at things. A lot of them. But me and my dad have a great relationship now. Now that I fully understand and, we can talk about anything. And what I can say is that growing up through my life, the things that he told me even when I was young, he's never lied to me. My mom's never lied to me. She never said nothing bad about him either. They're still good friends. Life just happens. It's not something that you don't get to dictate how your life goes. The only thing you do is try to make the best decisions that you can make. Treat people the best way you can treat them. And move on about your business and hope that everything plays out the right way. Or plan for it to play out the right way. But you also have to know how to hit that eject button and get yourself out of bad situations. It took me a minute to understand that. Like when I was selling drugs, I should have stopped when I had opened up my business. Because when I first opened up my business, even way back then, it was me and my god brother, Brett. We had the shop, and when I say we were making money hand over fist legally, it was crazy. Still kept that backup plan. Well, tell you how that backup plan blew up. Now, mind you, my grandma passed. I basically was left with her house out there in Kenwood. Well, my shop got burned down, and when my shop burned down, everything went full-fledged dope. So I was still going to school, still going to St. Philip's, but I moved 3 of my friends in the house with me. Now, I always kept principles and morals about the way I did business. My grandfather and my uncle, Both of them, well, my grandfather was a World War II veteran, and my uncle was a Vietnam veteran. But both of them had been to prison. Both of them had told me since a young age, a lot of the G code stuff, basically man codes, stuff about, if you do ever go to prison, uh, there was three rules, the three G's: no gambling, no getting in people's business, and no gays. Those three rules right there can pretty much take you through prison issue free. Now, the last two I followed to the T. The gambling part, I gambled under my set of standards, which is don't gamble more than you can afford to lose. Don't bet on your ass. Don't do no stupid shit. So I learned how to play poker. Uh, Being that I played spades all through high school, Royal Hammond used to let us play spades all day long. If you didn't want to go to class, just go to the cafeteria and play spades. You're going to play spades. Ain't nobody going to say shit to you. So, yeah, I can run a 10 hand by myself real good, real easily. So I already knew cards. All I had to do was learn the hands. So I played poker, but I wasn't playing it to live off of. I was just playing it just for fun. So little spare shit that I might have, because I always had hustles in prison too. Never had no issues. I stayed away from them three G's basically. Now, it's like sometimes I feel like certain things is like, how can you say? You speak it into existence. When you tell young boys about prison and well, this is what you do if you go and blah blah blah, you can kind of speak them into not fearing these things. People always say, "Oh man, I don't fear nothing but God," and this, that, and the third. No, fear is healthy. Now, it's what you do with the fear that can make you a coward or not. As long as I had the fear of my uncle, I would have never sold drugs. I know that if my father had been there, he would have been able to spot it quick, easy. It's a lot of things that people don't understand that little boys can get over with on mothers, because, and the only reason we can get over this shit is because women in general tend to forget that men think differently. We learn differently. We are different. We're not the same. Everything that's good for you is not for me. Everything that's good for me is not for you. We have lanes to stay in. We have roles that we're supposed to be playing. And for me, that's part of what keeps us divided. That's what I see. And as far as what I've seen, and you can be like, "Oh well, you don't know nothing." Well, unless your ass is 44, then if you count the friends of mine, they're all 10 years older than me, so that makes me about 54, 52. Then you count the ones that was in prison with me, the Joey Gambinos of the Gambino crime family from New York, Freeway Ricky Ross, uh, hell, you got all of the big wigs here from San Antonio, Cadillac Bubba, Stinker. I've sit and absorbed knowledge from all of these people. And a lot of people think, "Oh man, y'all went to prison, y'all stupid." No, that doesn't mean that. I've been in there with judges and lawyers. The Attorney General Dan Morales was on the same unit I was on. Ate with him, talked with him, played chess with him. And these lawyers and judges and doctors that be in the feds, they'll tell you. I mean, what they told me. Everybody breaks the law. It's just you got caught. Hell, my federal judge said, "Hey, we all break the law. It's just you got caught. So now you got to pay the piper." Ignorance is no excuse for the law. Had some wild times, man. I've almost been married twice. Well, I almost got engaged twice. I didn't get married because I watch and I see. And the minute you show me that you're selfish, I ain't even thinking about it. Doesn't even cross my path because I'm not selfish about anything. The minute I feel like you're trying to get over, it's not gonna work because I'm not stupid. May not, I may only have my associate's degree, but education does not replace intelligence, wisdom, and wits and common sense. I learned that many times. What do I plan to do with this podcast, man? Man, I want this to just be a building conversation. I'm tired of people always just fighting over the words, the semantics of it. The oh well, the tone of what you said, or it sounded really aggressive, or blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's fine. At the end of the day, we all need to get along better. Men with men, men with women, women with women, women with men. We all need to be able to get along better. We need to come back to the it's basic, man. When you look at the women of old, they understood they needed to understand both the male and female. Not so much anymore. Our women are taught literally what to expect from men, and men are taught what to provide women. Your little boys are, hey, look, take your mom, pull your mama's chair out, open the door for your sisters, blah blah blah. But we don't get a lot of that. What is the man? What is his side of it? So you do have a lot of guys that's running around here that don't understand nothing because they want something, but they don't know what the fuck it is. Some do know what it is. And just like, let's see, ladies, you wouldn't want to have to tell your man that he needs to protect you, right? Guys don't want to have to tell you that you need to respect us. Respect us that the fact is that we are yours. Whether we're in a relationship with you or just a friend on the street or a family member or even a stranger on the street, we're yours. We're here to protect you from the world. There are bad apples out there. We can't protect everybody from everybody, especially if you choose to be around the bad apples. When you go to an apple orchard, They divide the apples by floating them in water. The ones that don't float are the rotten ones. They separate. You got to separate yourself. You can't keep reaching in the garbage cans trying to find a filet mignon. It's not gonna work out. Fellas, same thing for you. I mean, it's a lot of y'all out there chasing some trash, and it'll never work out. If she's not trying to do for you the way you're trying to do for her, move on around. Only thing else you're gonna accomplish is you're gonna tab both of y'all up. Now, of course, we don't heal as easily, but we let it go easier than women do. We don't necessarily carry the trauma with us everywhere. Probably because we traumatize so many people in our healing journeys. I don't know. Well, I do know. That is true. Hell, I've done it. Like I say, full disclosure. I'm just trying to give you the good and bad and ugly, everything. As far as with me. So you ain't gotta go looking for nothing. There ain't nothing else for you to find. No, I don't hate women. I love women. Y'all are the fairer half of what we are. Y'all just have to understand that your apex predator is here for a reason. And if we wasn't here, this would not be as comfortable a place as it is even now. Even with whatever, y'all say that is not what you want it to be. Well, anyway, Mondays with Mama. Talk about what I want to do with that. I'm trying to give anybody, ladies, guys, anybody that doesn't have an elder around that you can ask for some pertinent advice. My mama's been a rock for me, especially when I've taken the time to actually listen and, go about what she said, or at least evaluate it, use it as counsel. I'm gonna still make my own decision, but I use what she says as counsel. Very wise woman, very honest woman. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. When I do the Mondays with Mama, it's only gonna be on the YouTube page. Again, it's Hard Pill to Swallow podcast with the number 2. My ugly mug is the picture for the channel. Go subscribe. That's the only way you're gonna be able to ask questions is on YouTube. Because I'll probably go live here on Facebook and Instagram, but it's only gonna be for a few minutes, just to kind of let y'all know that we own, and we're gonna be on YouTube. And then I'm gonna cut off Facebook and Instagram, stop the live, so y'all come over there to the YouTube channel and start having a good discourse there. And I also want to do on either Wednesday nights or Fridays, we're gonna do horror stories. Guys, girls, call in with your horror stories of bad dating situations, hell, whatever kind of horror story you got, just bad situations. Let's talk about it. Let's laugh. Let's cry. Let's smile. Let's build. Let's repair. Hard pill to swallow. I'm out.